So here I am in a 2023 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive LFP. It's my daughter's car. Just leaving Roanoke, Virginia. Let me click this so we can see what's going on. And we're going a few hundred miles today, but I'm just kind of looking. 1,944 miles so far on this Roanoke, Virginia trip. 245 watt-hours per mile. So I'm going to reset that and call it Texas trip. And we're going to take off today and drive across to Knoxville, Tennessee. I've got some meetings over there. And then the next day, drive about 10 hours to Texarkana, Texas. So follow along to watch this whole adventure, and I will keep you updated. So here's a trip update. I am 18 miles into the Texas trip, 238 watt-hours per mile. You'll see overall in the car 232, and it now has over 20,000 miles on it. Great car overall. I am headed down to the Greensboro area. I'm going down 220 south. I'll jump on that new 73 bypass. I've got to run a quick errand down there, and then I'm headed over to Knoxville, Tennessee. So about 6 hours of driving today, starting out at a little before 9 a.m. Eastern time, and it is 74 degrees. So beautiful driving day. No rain in sight. Hopefully that maintains, and I will keep you updated as we ride in this 2023 Model 3. This is my daughter's car, and she's allowed me to drive it. We're road tripping here as I've got business and she is on a summer holiday. So we are riding and driving. More information to follow. So I'm still on 220 south. I'm getting closer to Greensboro. In 20 miles, I'll pick up 73 south, and you can see down below here, 64 miles on the current drive, 230 watt-hours per mile. So making some progress. I'll be stopping here in the Greensboro area around 10:30-ish. Hope to just take care of a quick meeting and get out of there in 15 minutes or so, and then head up the road towards Knoxville, Tennessee. I'll probably charge at the supercharger in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I think that's a 16 stall version 3 Tesla supercharger. So I'll detail more on that in a little bit and keep you updated. Okay, I just left Greensboro, headed across to the first supercharger of the day, which is Clemens, North Carolina. It's a 12 stall, 250 kilowatt version 3 Tesla supercharger. So it is 82 degrees out. It's warmed up, 10:45 a.m. And I am 34 minutes, 33 miles from that charger. Should arrive with about 20%, sitting at 35% now. So I will update you from the charger here in just a few minutes. So this Model 3 does an amazing job getting really close to the actual predicted range. So started out this morning with right around 75%, down to 32%, driven 106 miles. Got about 26 miles left to go, and I'm going to get there with 21%. So, no problem going 130 miles using maybe 50% of the battery. And this car's rated, I think, for 270 miles on a 100% charge. The nice thing is with the LFP, you can charge to 100% every day. You don't have to worry about 80% or 90% charging. The car really does a great job. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. This is not the refreshed version. This is not the Highland. This is the previous version, the 2023. But yeah, very happy with it. My daughter loves it. It's her daily driver, and we're road tripping it from Texas to Virginia, and then from Virginia back to Texas. And so we're on the way back now, 107 miles into that trip, and you'll see 227 watt-hours per mile. So pretty efficient. The car's doing a great job, and we are just cruising. I will post an update from the supercharger here in Clemens. I don't know if I've been to this one before. I'll see when I get there, and I know it's a 12 stall 250 according to the Tesla navigation, and we will check it out together here shortly. So I am 5 minutes out, 3.4 miles from the supercharger, and it just started preconditioning the battery for fast charging. So it's going to heat up the battery cells to the optimum temperature. So when I plug in, I'm going to get the maximum possible charge rate. Looks like I'll arrive with around 22%. I get off the exit here in 2.3 miles, and pretty efficient trip so far. You'll see this Texas trip, 129 miles into the trip, 223 watt hours per mile. So car's doing great. Really like this Model 3 LFP, and stop here, and it's showing that I need to charge for 25 minutes. Normally I'm not at a charger that long, so I'm going to take a look at the route plan when I get there, see how long, once I plug in, it could be twice that fast. So we'll see what it says once I get plugged in, and I'll figure out my next stop and update you here from the supercharger in just a minute. There it is, preconditioning for fast charging. And actually, if you want to ride along, you can ride along as we get off the exit here, and just about a mile at this supercharger in Clemens, North Carolina. It looks like the exit is for Clemens and Louisville. 184. There's the sign. Let me go ahead and just jump over to the right lane. I have not been running with full self-driving turned on this morning, but I will flip that on probably after this charging session. I've been going old school, driving the car myself and not supervising as the car drives me. So, half a mile. And we are almost there. Looks like I'll go through just maybe 3 lights, turn left at a light and go through 2, and then turn left into the parking lot. So it's somewhere here off to the left on the other side of the interstate. Like normal though, it's with Tesla's superchargers, they're almost always right by the exit. So, if I'd be coming the other direction, if I'd be going east on 40, it would literally just be right off the exit. So that's good. Okay, I am coming up to the light. This does not look familiar. I don't know that I've been to this stop. We'll see. This might be a new supercharger for me. I know I've driven this route in an EV before, and certainly in a Tesla before. So at the third light, I will turn left. Going through the first light here. Kind of a neat looking area. Looks like I'll go through this light. Yep, straight through this one. Left here at the next one. Pretty busy area. This charger appears to be in a shopping plaza with a Lowe's grocery store. Looks like there's an Arby's. Looks like there's several amenities right in the area. So pretty good stop for interstate travel, I would say. And I have been to this charger. I've definitely charged here before. I remember it now. The chargers are over here on the left. So I'm going to zip in this parking lot. Over here's the Arby's. There's a Chick-fil-A. I think last time I was here, I went through that Chick-fil-A. Got lunch, so I'm going to pull in. Looks like we've got one Model X and an older Model 3 charging. We'll just give a little bit of space and get plugged in here, probably to 1D. Actually, I'm going to pull into 2A, so I'm on a totally different set of chargers. Okay, let me go ahead and get plugged in here. since this is a version 3, it should ramp up pretty much immediately and start charging in just a few seconds. There we are, we're flashing green. Let's take a quick look at the charging speed. Definitely warmed up out there. So now it's saying 13 minutes at this stop. So of course that changed very, very quickly. And over here is our speed, right up to 172 kilowatts. So great job, Tesla. This is a good one. So back on the interstate, stopped for maybe a little more than 15 minutes until we were ready to go. Had to go use the facilities and take care of a couple things, and charged up to about 70%. But back out on the interstate, 106 miles to the next charger. Gonna arrive there with around 25%. And let's see, 135 miles so far into this total trip. 224 watt hours per mile. So we're on 40 West, just riding along, and the next charger is in Old Fort, North Carolina. So let's flip on full self-driving, let the car do the driving for us. We're going to click that as a 12 stall, 250 kilowatt. Doesn't look to be very busy when we get there, but regardless, we should get full charge. So we're going to ride along, let the car do the work. This one's right off the interstate, 0.1 mile off the interstate, good as it gets. And I'm pretty sure I've been to this charger before as well. Beautiful day for driving, 87 degrees, and I'm just going to ride along and let FSD do the work for a while. Okay, so here's a trip update for you. It is 12:30 p.m., 88 degrees out, so it's really warm now. Still driving in North Carolina on 40 West. Headed towards the supercharger in Old Fort, North Carolina. Then I'm planning to stop at the supercharger in Sevierville before getting into Knoxville. Sevierville is the Buc-ee's. I can't remember what Old Fort is, but we'll find out here in just a little bit. Driven almost 200 miles so far today at 235 watt hours per mile. Not getting great efficiency on this leg, 67 miles in, 263 watt hours per mile. You know, driving up through rolling mountains and mostly gaining elevation, so definitely losing some efficiency on this drive. The car was predicting when I pulled out of the charger originally around 29%, then it dropped to 25. It dropped all the way down to 12. Now it's popped back up to 19% estimated range remaining. It'll be fine. I'll make it there just fine. I'm only 41 miles away and I have 38%, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, just it's always good to have a little bit of a buffer when you're on a road trip. So I unplugged around 70% because the charging rate starts to taper off. So I am riding on. Should get to this supercharger like it shows around 19%, and it's saying 20 minutes. Probably only need 10 or 15. I'll probably charge a little extra because I want to top up prior to going to the hotel. Last time I was there, they did not have chargers. They valet. I don't think they have chargers still. So I want to get there with a good 70% left in the battery. So I'll top up somewhat at Old Fort, and then for sure at Sevierville I'll spend more than 5 minutes and get some good juice on before heading to the hotel. Anyway, follow along. I'll update you here in 35 or so minutes as I get to the supercharger in Old Fort, North Carolina. Okay, so here's an update. 240 miles in, 235 watt hours per mile. Current drive 108 miles, so 1.2 miles out. It did not precondition at all, which means the battery's probably at the optimal temperature. So you'll see we get off this exit, go to the stop sign, turn right, turn left, and just go right across the highway. Or under the highway. Let's check it out. We're getting off in 0.8 of a mile. Exit 75 Parker Paget Road at Old Fort, North Carolina. I think this is a old Stuckey's gas station, if I recall. I'm trying to remember. I think that's what it is. We will see in just a second. Beautiful drive through here, by the way, through the mountains and just this whole area. Very, very scenic. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and jump off this exit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one I recall. I want to say it was a Stuckey's, but we'll see. There's not a lot of those left. but I remember it definitely was an old gas station for sure. And let's get to the stop sign here. Pull up and make sure we're good. Cut across the highway. We're going to turn left here. There's an old Texaco truck, old flatbed. And there it is. It's an old Stuckey's, exactly like I thought. And hey, that's cool. It looks like they're putting in some brand new Electrify America chargers. Doesn't look like they're deployed yet, but wow, this stop's getting a lot of equipment. Looks like those are Electrify Americas, and I think that's what all those are. So a whole setup there. And looks like they're not quite online yet, but they will be soon. So let's pull back here. We've got an old Legacy Model S charging, and the rest of the chargers appear to be available. We'll go ahead and plug in here, back into one of these posts. And looks like they need to clean up their weeds and do a little trimming, but this is a decent stop. I've been to this one before. It's actually a nice, clean, old Stuckey's. Reminds me going back in time about 15 years, and it's wild that all this charging infrastructure is here. You can see the old truck diesel decommissioned station right there in front of us. So as we get the car plugged in, and this is a V3, you'll see there's no silver ring around the post and the skinny cables. But we're going green right away. And let's check the charging speed. So now we're at 21% state of charge. We're up to 127, 142, 158, 170. So getting the maximum charge rate, doing good. Shows 11 minutes, and I will update here later. Okay, here we are rolling again. 1 mile into the trip, 861 watt hours per mile. So car is super hot coming off of the supercharger, super inefficient. You'll see it improve dramatically, but we're riding through the beautiful mountains here around Old Fort, North Carolina. I'm headed on 40 West, showing I'm going to get to Sevierville with 27%. I did charge up to about 80%. I wanted to give myself plenty of buffer. There are a lot of mountains. The range is going to change, and I have 121 miles to go. I'll be fine at 78%, but this is going to bounce around that remaining state of charge as I drive up through these mountains. So anyway, follow along, and I'll keep you updated. Beautiful drive today. 87 degrees out, 1:33 in the afternoon. I should hit the hotel probably around 4 o'clock in Knoxville. I'm going to hit the Buc-ee's around 3:30, and then I'll get a good charge on there so that I can get to the hotel with around 70%. So I'll probably spend 15-20 minutes at Buc-ee's. Just walking in there to use the restroom and get a refreshment won't take that long. So not a big deal. And again, hope to hit the hotel between 4 and 4:30 for sure. So I will keep you updated as we ride. Look at the sky, look at the mountains, just beautiful here. And by the way, the Model 3 is doing fantastic. It's a great road tripping car. It only charges up to 170 kilowatts, but it's a small battery. So it's just as fast, if not faster, road tripping than my 2023 long range Model Y. Does a great job. I have zero issues road tripping with this car. It's fantastic. So I wouldn't worry about the max charging speed being 170. It's super fast. As expected, a lot of inefficiency, driving up through the mountains here in North Carolina. 340 watt hours per mile for the last 33 miles. Headed through the Cherokee, North Carolina area on I-40 up through Pisgah National Park or Forest, I believe it's called. And yeah, it's just really not efficient. So you'll see my estimated range remaining now is down to 15%, 90 miles away, about an hour and a half, 89 degrees. Car's doing well. no problem. And FSD's driving me up through the mountains here, through traffic, switching lanes. It's handling everything. So it's actually great and takes a lot of stress off the drive. I absolutely love it. And I have been driving a gas car for a few days. Haven't driven one for a little while. Anytime I fly and travel, many times I'll rent cars that they're gas, but I just can't stand not having self-driving. It really takes a lot of pressure off. Until you've done it and used it and see what it can do for you on the highway, it's pretty amazing. And I was actually driving a Lexus this past week a good bit. Great car, a new one, fairly new I should say, a 2023 model, and low miles. It had lane departure and all of that stuff, and it did okay, and it had radar cruise control, but just never felt comfortable in it like I do in a Tesla. It's a game changer. Give it a try. So I used Tesla Nav and took a major detour around the construction zone, and actually doing okay. It looks like I'm going to hit the supercharger in Sevierville at 3:35 p.m. with about 22%. So I've gained about 7% since the last clip. I've been going very slow, going through that construction and a lot of stop and go, and kind of descending down the mountain a little bit. So I'll start going back up here in a little while, but definitely rolling hills. You can see I'm going through, I guess they call this area the gorge, like I said earlier, going between the mountains. Beautiful area. 44% currently. You'll see my trip data down here. 319 miles so far today. 239 watt hours per mile. And 77 miles on the current drive. Only about 45 minutes to go, and I'll be to the next charger. My plan there is to just get a good top up to head to the hotel, which is maybe half an hour or less from the charger. So more info to follow here shortly, but so far the trip is going well today. So finally made it through the twisty bits and rolling on the interstate now. So just flowing with traffic. 84 degrees out, so it cooled down, coming up through these mountains. And 25% estimated now going into Sevierville. So you saw it dropped all the way down to 15%. Now it's back up to 25%. You really should give yourself a buffer when traveling, especially if you're fairly new to traveling with an EV. You can always slow down, and you'll gain percentage if you slow down. The cars are way more efficient at slower speeds, but this car is doing pretty well overall. Last 90 miles, 242 watt hours per mile. Overall, since delivery on the car, 232 watt hours per mile. And this trip to Texas, 236. So pretty efficient. 4+ miles per kilowatt hour. That's really good. Been a great drive so far today. Only 30 minutes away from Buc-ee's in Sevierville. I'll hit that supercharger. And then from there, maybe 20 minutes to the hotel. Pretty close to the hotel. Quick and easy drive. Only about an hour from my final destination. Again, I'm going to stop at Buc-ee's. I'll probably be there 15-20 minutes anyway. And then get to the hotel between 4 and 4:30. Probably around 4:15 to 4:20, I would estimate at this point. There's a sign for Buc-ee's off to the right. DEF available at the pump. 32 miles out. And there is the Buc-ee. And they started signs probably 100 miles ago showing pictures of the beaver and all kinds of stuff about food and all of the things that they have to offer. So again, just a beautiful day, beautiful drive. I'm enjoying driving my daughter's 2023 LFP. So the plan is headed to Knoxville. I'll be in Knoxville tonight. I've got some meetings and things to take care of. Tomorrow I'll be in Texarkana and staying in Texarkana again for some business. And then back in the Dallas-Fort Worth area the next day. It is mid-June 2024. And this car is running on, let's take a look at the software. You'll see it has 20,730 miles. And we are running on FSD version 12.3.6. And the software is 2024.3.25. There is a spring refresh that this car has not gotten. And I think we're at summer or almost to summer, and it adds a lot of really cool features. So looking forward to getting that for on my daughter's car, and then also on my long range Model Y. So I think it's going to add a lot of really cool features from what I've seen. So should be good. There's a sign for Sevierville. Your smokies start here, it says. And definitely a touristy area, but we're not going all the way down in there. We're just going to Buc-ee's. So, and Buc-ee's is an adventure in itself. And watch here for another few minutes, and you'll see Buc-ee's. So this is my travel companion for the 2023 Model 3 road trip. It's good FSD's driving, otherwise this golden doodle right here will be driving as we head into the Buc-ee's in Sevierville. And you can tell she's very excited. And here is a trip update, give you a progress update. 26% on the battery remaining upon arrival. I'm at 28% now, I'm only 4 miles away. I get off exit 407 in 2.4 miles, which is the Sevierville Pigeon Forge exit. And then Buc-ee's is right off the exit. It will take a few minutes to get into Buc-ee's. This is a crazy busy stop, and it's 3:25 p.m. on a Thursday, so it is going to be very busy. It is now 91 degrees out, so it's hot. The car has not done any preconditioning, so it should be good to go when I get to Buc-ee's and plug in. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and pop over here. I'm telling it to switch to the right lane to get ready for the exit. And it kind of does what it wants to do, but FSD is sliding in behind this car. And here's an efficiency update. 121 miles, 239 watt hours per mile. Not too bad overall. And 363 miles so far today. Pretty close to the final destination, maybe 20 minutes away. Just going to throw a quick charge on, use the facilities, and get ready to head to the hotel. And hit the hotel and hit Knoxville before rush hour traffic. So this should be a fast stop, and I will keep you posted. Okay, about to pull into this massive Buc-ee's complex with tons of superchargers. And this one has 15 stalls available upon arrival, 24 total stalls. So it's saying that 9 of them are occupied. There's somebody walking their dog. I'm cutting in a little early just to show you, because I said I would show you Buc-ee's. Look at how many fuel islands there are, how many gas pumps, how many vehicles, how many people. It is a gas station, destination gas station, whatever you want to call it. It is unreal. Absolutely amazing. Huge facility. Over here ahead of me, to my left, are the superchargers. I see a Tesla ahead of me getting ready to go in. I'm not sure what this van's doing, but it's, you know, you figure adding 10 minutes to any trip to try to go to a Buc-ee's just to get into one of these places. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm going to pull up past. And we're going to pull in right between these cars right here and get plugged in. Okay, let's go ahead and get plugged in, and we're at 26%. Let's see what kind of charging rate we get. Keeping in mind, there's a lot of cars at this charging station. Let's see how fast it turns green. And there we are, we're green. Fairly full supercharger. Right up, right away to 60 kilowatts, 85, 110. 172-ish is about the max on this car. I think they rate it for 170, and there is 171, and we are charging. So I have it set to go to 100% limit. I'm going to let it charge. If I was to fill it up, it's 35 minutes. Not going to be here that long, but we'll let the car do its thing. It's already added 1 kilowatt hour 740 plus miles per hour of charging. And this is the inside of Buc-ee's. Just a quick video. Absolute insanity. You know, it's like a Walmart supercenter or something with food and barbecue and brisket and beef jerky, whatever. It's crazy. Here's the Tesla supercharger at Buc-ee's in Sevierville. It starts right there, 24 stalls, all the way down to the end. So let me just count cars. Ten cars charging, you know, out of 24 stalls. Kind of crazy. Super busy. That's a good thing. I'm glad Tesla's doing well. And here's the Model 3 LFP as it charges up. And we're just gonna go ahead and check the percentages. As we get in the car, we're greeted by Ella. Say hi, Ella. There's Ella. It's my daughter's golden doodle. And we are at 90 kilowatts. So the car's charging well. Still at up to 63% already. I've been going, I don't know, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. You saw what I pulled in with. I believe around 27%. Already in that short period of time, it's juiced right up. Now the car's been in dog mode, so it's draining some energy. I've got the door hanging open right now, but you know, great job Tesla. It is saying 25 minutes remaining. It would probably charge slightly quicker than that. I'd guess 20 minutes to fill up, but we're pretty much good to go. I could get to the hotel right now with 53%, but my daughter's inside using the facilities, getting a refreshment. So till she gets out here, we'll probably be around 80% and we'll take off. So this car is not holding us up on this road trip at all. We're taking longer than the car's taking to charge. And frankly, it's easier than pumping gas. I don't have to deal with receipts, fuel attendants, dirty gas stations, or any of those things. I actually really like road tripping in an EV. It's going pretty well. This has been a good trip so far. Here's a stat update while I'm updating you. 366 miles so far today. 86 kilowatt hours of energy have been used. And you'll see 235 watt hours per mile. 20,762 miles on this car. Very efficient overall, over 4 miles per kilowatt hour, and super inexpensive EV to road trip. You'll see the current charging cost. We're currently charging, and we are at $7.67. This will tell us a lot of details. The session ID, the duration. There you go. You'll see we've been here 12 minutes and we've pulled in 25 kilowatt hours of energy. So great job, Tesla. This thing's amazing. Y'all have it down. And this has been a good trip so far today. Very easy. All right, back on the road again. Ended up charging up to 80%, and everybody was ready to go, and we took off just about 3 miles ago. We're at 78% now and going to hit the hotel with around 70% on the battery. So all in all, been a good day. No major issues for sure. And we have, let's see, 370 miles on the clock today. So good road tripping day, 92 degrees out. It definitely warmed up. Buc-ee's was an adventure as always. Gonna hit the hotel at 4:18. I had predicted 4:15 to 4:20 if I recall. So we're right in that window, hopefully. Beating any rush hour traffic, only 18 minutes for 17 miles. So good timing. We're gonna get through this. It's a beautiful day here in Tennessee, and looking forward to getting to the hotel in Knoxville. One thing I failed to mention, and I get asked a lot, is how much did that cost to charge? The last charging session was $10.20 at Buc-ee's, and I went from 27% to 80%. So I added 53% to the battery for $10.20. I could drive about 130 miles on that, maybe a little more in this car. So very inexpensive, even road tripping. It does cost a lot more on the road for charging than it does at home. Home is way cheaper. Home would probably be about a quarter of that. So at home, that would have been maybe $2, $2.50 for half of a tank of fuel. So that's just a little more information for you. You'll see we're progressing and soon going to be to the hotel. Looking forward to getting there. It's been a decent day, but it's starting to be a long day. Almost 400 miles today and arriving around 4 o'clock. So glad to be getting there, checking in. Got to get caught up on some email and some phone calls, and then off to a dinner meeting. All right, so here we are starting out the morning. The hotel did have charging. The valet plugged it in. So started out this morning with 98%. Sitting right now at 93%. Driven 7 miles, been on the road about 11 minutes. So you'll see so far on this Texas trip, almost 400 miles, 395 miles, 241 watt-hours per mile. So I programmed in the first charger. We're going to stop at Mount Juliet, Tennessee. That's just on the east side of Nashville. And that's a decent supercharger. And let's take a look. It has, let me click it, 11 stalls, 250 kilowatts. So kind of a unique configuration there. But it's in a parking lot with McDonald's and several other amenities. That'll be about a perfect time to stop and take a bio break, fuel the car up, and ride on. Now, it's wanting me to charge for 40 minutes. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to sit in Jackson for 45. Not going to sit in Little Rock for 30. So I will be adding some charging stops and make this trip a lot faster. It's showing arriving in Texarkana, Texas at 8:05 p.m. I'm guessing I'll be there between 6:30 and 7. I've got a time change, and also I'll make up some time with charging. So, yeah, be there a little bit earlier and stay there for the evening before heading back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Beautiful day out. Blue skies, clean sailing, 78 degrees. So, riding on here this morning, and I will keep you updated. So here's another trip update. I am currently 62 miles into the drive, 55 minutes, 270 watt-hours per mile. So not super efficient, but running at highway speeds, as you can probably observe right now, going, up a hill, a mountain, whatever. And yeah, it's just sucking down some juice. But going to arrive to the supercharger in Mount Juliet with approximately 18% state of charge remaining. It is 79 degrees out, 7:42 a.m. We've switched to Central Time. So I'm showing an arrival to the hotel in Texarkana of 6:49 p.m. We'll see. I'll be adjusting charging stops along the way. Probably make 5-6 stops total today. This is a pretty long drive overall, a lot of miles. And we're 451 miles into the Texas trip. So starting out this morning, just under 400 miles. So, it's going to be a long and busy day. I will post here in a little bit after Mount Juliet. I'm under 100 miles to get there. You'll notice I'll soon hit 21,000 miles, and I'll post my 21,000 mile feedback, review, thoughts on this rear-wheel drive LFP Tesla Model 3. As I've mentioned throughout the video, this is my daughter's car. She's very, very happy with it. It's been great. Does a wonderful job, and I would highly recommend it. Very, very fast charging, small battery. The thing is a great road tripping car. So, anyhow, more info to follow, and I will keep you updated as we go. So here's another trip update. Cruising along, 100 miles into the current drive, an hour and 25 minutes of driving. So one big advantage of staying at hotels is finding hotels that have chargers. I didn't know, last night if they had a charger. The valet plugged the car in without even asking. They did it automatically, which is fantastic. So woke up with 98% of the battery. They unplugged it, they plugged it in, charged it to full, and then parked it, which is phenomenal. And then charged somebody else's vehicle. I mean, they did a great job. So not only did, I get a free fill up, but I'm able to drive further on the first charge this morning. So that's great. I've got about another 62 miles to go, which means I'll have driven, 163 miles on the first charge. And should arrive with around 23%. That's been fluctuating. It's been down to, 18%. It's been up to 24. But we're gaining efficiency now as we've come out of the mountains, running right around 250 watt-hours per mile. I've mentioned time and time again, this is a great car. It could use more noise dampening. The suspension could be a little softer, but it rides good, it handles good, it's smooth, it's comfortable. It's really just a great car. So, truly enjoying the ride in this Model 3 and cruising along here through the state of Tennessee. You'll see it's leveled out, pretty flat now. Beautiful green and blue skies out there too. So, just good day to be driving across the country. So, look forward to hitting Texas here this evening. ETA at this point is showing 646, so we're gaining on it, and we'll see how this first charging session goes in Mount Juliet. Be there in about 50 minutes. So here's an update. The car is getting an update, and it just notified me that it had a software update available, and I have it downloading. I've connected it to the hotspot on my phone. It's downloading 2024.14.9, which has a bunch of graphical improvements and a bunch of new things. It's the spring update. I just mentioned it yesterday. I guess it's summer now, but this car is getting it. I'm hopeful that my car gets it as well, but I'm going to let it download here as I'm driving today. And then when I get to the hotel tonight, we'll probably apply the update and look forward to getting into a new experience in the car tomorrow. So, car is downloading as we go. We are currently 45 minutes out, 51 miles, so making good progress. Been driving for an hour and 34 minutes, have gone 112 miles and 249 watt-hours per mile. That continues to improve as we go further along here. So, yeah, it's a good day. I'm excited to see this latest software update, and hopeful that it gets pushed to my Model Y very soon as well. So, it's going to be interesting. So, getting much closer to Nashville, Tennessee. 8:42 a.m. Been driving for almost 2 hours, an hour and 56 minutes. You can see the stats down there: 141 miles, 243 watt-hours per mile. So a little over 4 miles per kilowatt hour, which is good. You'll see the lifetime stats on the car there, and it's 83 degrees out, so it's cool, but it's going to warm up and it's going to get hot through the day as we head towards Texas. I imagine we'll probably see 100-degree weather, maybe even later this evening. This first stop in Mount Juliet, I have to take care of some things while I'm there. So I've just let it set up the next charge to Jackson, Tennessee, which it's saying I've got to be at that first stop for 40 minutes. I'm not going to sit there 40 minutes. I'm guessing when I plug in, that'll change to 25 minutes maybe. We'll see. And that might be doable. We'll see. There is a charger in Dixon. There's also some Electrify America options. I may do something different. We'll see. But anyway, only 20 minutes out, 21 miles, and I will update you as I get close to the charger so you can see the charger, see the speeds, and see where I head from here. You can see it's just a beautiful drive up through these rolling hills as I'm getting close to Nashville, Tennessee. Traffic is starting to get a little busier, for sure, but this is just a beautiful drive through here. Okay, so here we are getting off the exit for Mount Juliet. You'll see the location of the charger here on the map. So it's exit 226 off of I-40. And we're going to go up here and turn right. And we're going to want to get in the left lane once we turn right. Now it's connected to that Shell gas station, the Tesla charger is. So sometimes, depending on traffic, you can just jump right across and go in that Shell and then get to the charger. In other cases, you have to go down to that light and turn and loop up around to get to it. So let's see what this looks like. We'll know in just a second. It's usually pretty busy in this area, and it is 9 a.m. on a Friday. I said Shell, I meant BP. It's connected to this BP. The charger's right over here, and it's going to be easier to go down here and turn left at this light. There were 3 cars waiting to try to turn there. So we're just going to go down to this light, turn left, and then cut up through the parking lot. Now, this is a decent charger, other than getting into that lot. That's usually the challenge. It's right off the interstate, as you saw. Plenty of amenities, restaurants, all kinds of stuff around, and it's connected to that BP. There's a McDonald's there. So this is a pretty good stop. And one that I would definitely recommend. So you'll notice I cut up through here. It's kind of a shortcut to get up to the charger. Charger's just over here on the left. So we're going to go ahead right here and get plugged in. Let's see what kind of charging rate we get. You'll notice it wants to install the software update. And just like that, we're charging. Let's check out our speeds. And you'll notice it jumped to 25 minutes remaining kind of right away as predicted instead of 40 minutes. And it jumped right up to 171 kilowatts. So great job, Tesla. See you back here shortly. So I am riding in the back with the Golden Doodle. My daughter drove this leg.
Take exit 80A on the right onto US 45 bypass south toward Jackson.
So we're getting off at Jackson here in 1 mile on exit 80A, which is the next exit coming up. And we're going to get off, and it's at the Casey Jones Railroad Museum. So it's actually a version 3. There are now 24 stalls. They really vastly improved this charger. And yeah, so it's been a good leg. Can you swipe to the left there on there? Thank you. So 146 miles since the last stop, actually 148 miles, something like that. Anyway, 2 hours and 7 minutes, 255 watt-hours per mile. And you'll notice a lane departure warning. And that is due to absolutely unsafe driving. No, I'm kidding. She did a great job, but she rode along the yellow line, didn't even get on it. And for safety, Tesla sent that alert up, and interesting. But FSD still worked, and it still worked just fine. So we are getting off this exit and headed to the supercharger. So I'll show a video of that in just a minute. Okay, so here we are at the Casey Jones Railroad Museum. I'm going to go ahead and get plugged in. There we go. So it's ramping right up, and here's just a quick look. It's a country store, cafe. Of course, ICE vehicles parked all over these Tesla chargers here, but there's not that many Teslas here right now, but you know, these ICE cars just park throughout. So those people, this pickup, just blocking spots. That's the one pull through if you have a trailer, and this Ford is intentionally parking there. So anyway, that's what people do. But all in all, a good spot. Good job, Tesla. Okay, so we're rolling, overcharged a bit. Gonna hit the next charger in less than an hour with 32%. It just took that long to take a bio break, so just jumping charger to charger at this point. Don't need to sit and way overcharge. It charges slower at the fuller the battery gets. So we're just gonna pop to the next charger, and it also gives an opportunity to stretch your legs and, you know, take a break after driving all day. So 699 miles into the trip back to Texas. So quite a ways, and pretty good efficiency overall, 243 watt hours per mile. So waiting to get back on the interstate, and we'll be rocking and rolling for the next hour, and I will keep you updated. So here's the 21,000 mile update on this 2023 Tesla Model 3. It's a rear wheel drive. It has the LFP battery packs. This car's been phenomenal. This is my daughter's car. It is the white exterior with the black interior with the wood trim. Honestly, the car is smooth, quiet, comfortable. It could use more noise dampening for sure. But overall, it's a smooth, quiet, comfortable car. We're on a road trip now where we had already driven 2,000 miles, and now we're 700 more miles on the way back to Texas. So this car went from Texas to Virginia. You'll see that in a previous road trip video. And then from Virginia, my daughter went to Pennsylvania, from Pennsylvania back to Virginia. Now together we've gone from Virginia through North Carolina, then out to Tennessee, and we're headed into the Memphis area right now. So I'm headed to the supercharger in Memphis. I'll be there shortly in like 30 minutes, but just wanted to give you some quick impressions. Love the software. This car has just gotten better and better. And you'll see up in the top right that little yellow clock icon or alarm bell icon. It has a software update that's going to change the system, and we'll do that update tonight, so that as you're watching this video, hopefully you'll see we successfully make it to the hotel in Texarkana. We get plugged into their destination chargers, and we apply the software update to the car, so that tomorrow there should be a different driving experience in the car. It has a whole new user interface, and yeah, it's exciting. This car has just gotten better and better since the day she bought it, and it was her dream car. She saved up a lot of money, finally was able to get it around December of 22, and it's a 2023 model year, and has had the car ever since. So the majority of the road tripping miles are summer trips where she is able to go on adventures with her golden doodle all over the country. Anyway, it's a good car. I'd highly recommend it. I'll keep you updated on this road trip if you're watching that video. And buy a Tesla. Great vehicles. Okay, so here's a trip update. I am about 10 miles out, and you'll see we're just chewing through the juice, burning up the juice. 45 minutes of driving, going 55 miles, and 329 watt hours per mile. So not great efficiency at all. It's 95 degrees out, so we're getting close to that 100-degree weather, and the climate control is really taking up a lot of additional energy. You'll see here under climate, it's added, it's consumed 1.7% more than expected. The driving speed, of course, and battery conditioning took 2.8%. Probably cooling the battery down for fast charging, because we just came from a fast charger, and I'm thinking that it may be cooling the battery down for the next charging station. But either way, Car has done a great job. Almost to this next stop, and yeah, be there in just a few minutes. And it's only been, less than an hour since the last one, but just kind of popping charger to charger at this point. Okay, I'm getting off the exit now for Memphis, North Germantown Parkway, Tesla supercharger. This is a 16 stall version 3, 250 kilowatt. It's here in a shopping plaza. There's also an Electrify America right there in the same plaza. And last time I was here, about 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago to the day, there were two Cybertrucks charging right beside each other. One was charging when I pulled in, and the other Cybertruck pulled in to charge while I was there. It was pretty interesting. I've seen a few of them, and I've seen a couple charging, but to see two at the same place, they're really starting to ramp up production of the Cybertruck for sure. So at this next light, we'll turn left into Wolf Creek Parkway, and then the supercharger's just down there. Looks like we're going to arrive with 23%. That's what we're sitting at now. This is usually a fairly busy supercharger. Pretty rough road going into it. The Electrify America is right up here. Usually some interesting cars there charging. Looks like we've got an F-150 Lightning and a Mustang Mach-E. Both there charging. No Cybertruck here right now. You never know if one will pull in. But we're going to go ahead and get backed in, plugged in, and start juicing up. I'm going to pull right here in this end spot. And I want to try to not back up too far where these pools are blocking the doors. So let's try that and see if it reaches. I'll go ahead and put it in dog mode, because there's a doggo in here. And let's see if it'll reach. There we go, it kept on charging. Whole lineup of Teslas here, for sure. Great location right off the interstate, pretty easy to access. As many cars that are here charging, this could be site limited, speed-wise. But it's ramping up. Let's see right up here. You can hear the charger spinning up. We're up to 170 kilowatts, so 172, that's the highest speeds we've seen. Great job, Tesla. Looks like we'll need to be here about 8 minutes, and I will update you in a bit. So just finished charging in Memphis, charged up to 70%. I wanted to put some extra buffer on because of the heat, and I've really been consuming some energy. Also, the highway speeds are a lot higher here. You'll see about 90 miles to go. Should arrive with around 20%. We'll see how that fares out once I get moving. But I know I can make it. I mean, I've got 70% on the battery. Shouldn't be an issue at all. And we are just rolling along. So 764 miles so far on this Texas trip. I'm about to get back on 40 West. This is a very, very rough stretch of road. Big potholes everywhere. So I'm just doing my best to avoid them right now. And that whole interchange is just terrible. I don't know why they don't come in and repair. It's such a busy area and massive potholes coming out of that shopping center. What you just saw wasn't bad. They were really bad coming out of the shopping center and have been for years. Anyway, in 5.5 miles, it looks like we're going to bear right and stay on 40 West in about an hour and 23 minutes. So I'm going to get rolling. You'll see the consumption's terrible coming off of a charging session. And you'll just watch that continue to reduce as I drive. Just give it another second as I'm getting up to speed. We'll turn FSD on, and there you go, it's dropping down. So when I check in with you in a bit, that'll be down into the 300s, I'm sure. But yeah, it's pretty rough. You got the climate running almost full blast to keep up with the outside temperature and keep the cabin cool. And 88 miles to go. We'll be there in a blink, an hour and 20 minutes. Good job, FSD, switching lanes to move a little bit faster. So. Okay, so here's a trip update. I am 22 minutes, 24 miles away, showing an arrival state of charge of 18%. It is 91 degrees out, so it's cooled off just a little tiny bit, which I expect it to get hotter after this next stop as we get into and closer to Texas. 66 miles on this leg, 57 minutes, and so yeah, it's a total of about 90 miles and 830 total miles on the Texas trip here. About 430 of those today. You'll see the cars changing lanes automatically to pass. So FSD's doing a great job. I'm looking forward to applying this update to the car here later this evening to see what happens and what new functionality we get. It's a pretty big update. That's, again, one of the best things about Teslas and Rivian and some of the EVs are the software revisions and changes. So anyway, I am riding along through Arkansas, pretty desolate area, but beautiful, flat, and decent weather. So see the sky, just been a great driving day. When we left Texas to go to Virginia, there was a lot of rain, a lot of weather, hailstorms coming out of Texas, and thank goodness we were out of that. Hailstorm season's basically over in Texas, coming back into beautiful summer weather, and just looking forward to it. So you'll see it looks like I've gained another percent, up to 19%. And a lot of that just has to do with the weather. The AC system's not running as hard. When you hit a mid-90s or above, it really does churn through some energy. Let's take a look at the energy graph and see. You'll see climate sucked up quite a bit more than expected. Wind also costs some. Driving has been beneficial. You have gained some because of driving. So elevation have lost a little bit. Pretty interesting. Teslas have great information. And yeah, next thing you'll see in just a second is as I'm getting off here in Brinkley. Alright, here we are pulling into Brinkley, Arkansas to the Tesla supercharger. Just Sonic right here. Waffle House over there. There's a bank here. And the food giant down here on the right, which is probably the best place to use a restroom, to be honest. And it looks like we've got two Teslas sitting here charging. One of them looks to be a matte. Nope, it's gray. Let's go ahead and plug in down here at the end. And we'll see what kind of speeds we get. Okay. And we're gonna click dog mode on. We're at 20%, so it's not gonna let me until I plug in. Once I'm plugged in at a supercharger, it knows and will let me turn on the dog mode. There we go. I could hear it click. We're green, and you'll see it's an 8-stall, 250 kilowatt with 1 pull install for trailers, which is great. And let's see how fast we're ramping up. One thing you'll notice this trip is they just work. Unlike Electrify America and other DC fast charging, Tesla really has this supercharging thing knocked out well. Showing I'll be here 8 minutes, and you see us ramping up. Already up to 152 kilowatts, 164, and 171. So once again, great job, Tesla. I will update you here in a bit. All right, so I'm rolling again, 74% on the battery. I overcharged. I had to take care of a few things. I had to go to the bank, had to use the facilities. So, you know, I'm going to arrive to Franklin Energy Charging in Little Rock, which is out of spec. Kyle Connor and that crew has posted videos. You know, they have a solar canopy. They have 3 DC fast chargers. Just looks like a neat spot. It'll add about 4 minutes to go there versus the Tesla supercharger in Little Rock. I have that as a backup option. It is coming from the east. It is before I would get to the Tesla supercharger, so I want to give it a try. I have the CCS combo adapter. Looks like a nice little facility. Francie just had her VinFast there, I think yesterday or the day before charging. I heard her talk about it on a podcast I was listening to, so I thought, you know what, I want to check this out. Normally I'm just rush. I don't have time to check out and take extra time for things like this. I'd like to do it, so I'm going to go there and see if we can get plugged in. Hopefully there are free wire units available. It's the faster one. If not, the other units are 125. This car doesn't hold much faster than 125 charging for very long, and I'm arriving with pretty high state of charge. So even if I have to plug into one of those, it's not going to hurt. Looks like they're all on ChargePoint, so we'll see how that works. You know, activating through the ChargePoint app. And anyway, headed there now. Should be there within the hour, 55 minutes, and going to hit there about 3:43 p.m. And overall for the trip, you know, we're making decent progress. We're 859 miles in on the way back to Texas, 255 watt hours per mile. Obviously, the efficiency is decreasing as we're driving in this heat in Arkansas and Texas and whatever. But it'll improve here. You know, you can see I've driven 6 miles. I'm at 413 watt hours per mile. That'll improve as I drive, and the car kind of levels itself out. But anyway, be there within the hour, and we'll show you that video here shortly. All right, so here's a mid-trip update on the way to Little Rock. Only 40 minutes out. This is a quick one. Been driving 19 minutes, 23 miles, down to 332 watt hours per mile. Again, just terrible efficiency. About the equivalent of what I'd get on my Model Y. It's 96 degrees out, so that really has an impact, and that's the main thing is climate. Of course, the traveling speeds as well. But yeah, should be there shortly. Headed to that Franklin Energy. I have the Tesla supercharger keyed in next, so it preconditions appropriately. And then I'll cancel that out and we'll just charge at Franklin. Then we'll hit Hope, and then on to the Hampton. And the Hampton does have destination chargers, so hopefully we can get there and get plugged in and juice up while we go have dinner and whatnot. So looking forward to getting to the hotel. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're less than 3.5 hours from the hotel if everything goes according to plan. And if we're able to get a good charge at Franklin, that might save us even a few more minutes, because obviously we won't be stopping at Little Rock, and that adds a little time factor in getting off the exit, getting over to that charger. But I try to avoid the Little Rock charger. It's a 10-stall 150, and it's always so busy. And we really need a version 3 250 kilowatt charger right around Little Rock, and there's just not one. So I tend to use the Electrify America. If you watched my video from Texas to Virginia, I used it at the Walmart there in Little Rock. And now I'm going to try Franklin. It could be a good option when I road trip in the Rivian or in the Model Y or whatever. So we'll check it out and go from there. Okay, so here's an update. Just getting ready to get off the exit. You'll see I've driven 68 miles, 922 total miles on the Texas trip. And About to get off to go to Franklin's Energy Charging here in Little Rock. I'm hoping there's a station or two available where I can get plugged in. And it looks to be right off this exit. It's off of 630, which is one way to get through town. I normally just stay on 30 and whatever, but we're going to go ahead and get off here. And it looks like this place is just right off the exit, which is very, very nice. So, built right here by a little energy substation, which is good. And here it is over here. Kind of a neat looking little cafe area it appears to be. Let's go ahead and get in here. And let's see. That car's not plugged in. Huh, that's one of the new Hondas. And here's the FreeWire station. So we're gonna go ahead and get back into the FreeWire and get plugged in here in just a minute. So here we are at Franklin's Energy, and unfortunately these are 75 kilowatt max, so that's okay. We'll sit here and charge. I wanted to check this place out, but the FreeWire units, the battery's real low, so not going to charge super fast on that. So I went ahead and plugged in over here, and great spot, but really not going to be great for road tripping. But I wanted to check it out, and I'm glad I did. We'll sit here and charge for a bit, let the critter walk around, and nice solar canopies, and nice little lounge here. So we'll check it out. So I'm here charging at Franklin's electric charging station. It's actually really, really cool. Great guy. Talked to him for a few minutes. This is not a stop I would normally hit. He's got two 125s, but the most you're going to get on a Tesla is 75 kilowatts. And he's got the FreeWire, but of course that company's going out of business, and you can pull 200 kilowatts, but for a very short period of time. Anyhow, I am almost charged. It didn't matter that much. I just needed to be here a few minutes, needed to use the restroom and all that. I'm going to take off here in just a bit. I'm going to just throw a few more percent on, so I have a little more of a buffer to get to Hope, which is 110 miles away. And that'll be the last charging stop of the day. So doing that, we should hit the hotel around 6:30, and then we'll be able to plug in there. So probably a 10-minute stop in Hope. Pretty quick charge, and then head to the hotel. So I will finish topping this up and take off and update you here in just a little bit. Okay, so here's another trip update. Riding along now, it is 100 degrees officially, 4:19 p.m. Headed closer to Texas. Last charging stop of the day, and last stop in Arkansas, hopefully. It's Hope, Arkansas, in 1 hour and 28 minutes, 94 miles, so no big deal. 16 miles into this leg, 16 minutes, 327 watt hours per mile. So again, not great efficiency, but making progress and getting where we need to be. So that was a kind of a neat charging experience there. I'm glad I did it at Franklin's electric charging station. I won't pass up through there probably anytime in the near future, just because of the charging speeds, and it was a few minutes out of the way. Great location, clean, and honestly better than the Electrify America over at Walmart in Little Rock. And that Tesla supercharger is always so darn busy, and we split charging there a lot, but it would be faster, and so would the Electrify America. So I hope he's successful upgrading his equipment. He's considering upgrading all the charge point equipment. We'll see what happens. But anyway, all in all, making good progress today. 940 miles into this trip. And you know, we started out this morning with just under 400 miles, about 390. So I've done nearly 600 miles today, and another 100 plus to go. So this will be a 700 mile plus driving day. The great news is, once we get to the hotel this evening, probably around 6:30, and let me take a look and see what it's saying. It's saying 6:23. once we get there, we'll be done for the night. And the good news is we're only a few hours from home, so that's good news. Beautiful day, beautiful driving day, and let's just hope it remains uneventful as we head through the outskirts here of Little Rock and get past that. And yeah, I will keep you updated. Okay, here we go. We're getting close to the end of the day. 96 degrees out. It's 5:14 p.m. Central Time. Been driving since about 6:45 Central Time. So, till we get to the hotel, if we go according to the schedule, get to the hotel about 6:20. That'll be an 11 and a half hour day in the car and charging. So, obviously, we did add some time with charging and the number of stops we made, but nothing crazy. But in the course of the day, it might have added overall 45 minutes or so to the total trip time that we would have had otherwise. The one thing is as I've gotten older, I like to stop every couple hours, and I like that this plans that. You'll notice throughout this trip, we stop sometimes every hour. I needed to get out and stretch my legs. I'm a pretty big and tall guy, and I'm riding around in a Model 3. I kind of get cramped up, so I want to get out, stretch my legs, walk a little bit. And so that's good, and it's healthy, and it forces me to stop. It allows me to check my email. It allows me to do work. Not a bad thing. So on this leg, we've driven 83 miles, 1 hour and 12 minutes, and 300 watt hours per mile. So again, not great efficiency at all. 261 total, and you notice over 1,000 miles on this Texas trip. 1,006 miles on the way back to the Dallas, Texas area. So about 24 more minutes to the supercharger in Hope. This Hope charger is a newer one. Let's take a look at it here on the screen. And here it is. It is a 16 stall 250 kilowatt right off the exit. It's a good stop. I think we hit it on the way up, and we're going to hit it on the way back. So Tesla's done a great job with their network. The one gap along this route is just at Little Rock. But, I mean, it works. I just try to avoid it because of having slow charging there because of split charging on a V2. I'm sure that'll be solved here in the near future, and something will open up. But anyhow, yeah, I'll keep you posted. It's been a good trip, a good day. Pretty uneventful so far, and that's good, and let's hope it remains that way. Should be to the hotel in about 1 hour from now. Less than a half an hour to the charger. We'll throw enough juice in to get to the hotel with some buffer, and off we go. Okay, so here we are about to get off at the Tesla supercharger. It's 2 miles. The exit's 1.2 miles, and then just a little ways off the exit is the supercharger. Been to this one quite a few times, and like I said, this is a new Tesla supercharger, which is great. And let's see, we're getting off exit 30 in 0.9 of a mile. You'll see it's 96 degrees out, still hot, 290 watt hours per mile, so that's improved a little bit. 109 miles on this leg, and 1,032 total miles on this adventure. So 640 some miles so far today, and probably another 30 to go after this. So it's nearly a 700 mile day. It's been a long one. Looking forward to getting out of the car. That's plenty of driving for the day. Fortunately, FSD has done the bulk of the driving for me today, which makes things very, very nice. So let's go ahead and jump off this exit and check out this supercharger together. Looks like there's an accident or something under that bridge. So you might have heard that huff. That's the golden doodle telling me she's frustrated, wants to get the heck out of the car. It's been too long of a day for her. Right, Ella? Yeah, there you go. Her head is literally on my shoulder right now as we're getting ready to stop. So just waiting for this light. And so we'll make a left and then another left, and we're there. It's just a pretty quick one. This is a great location, by the way. Tesla always seems to put their superchargers in great locations. At least 99% of them, anyway, in my opinion. Gotta wait for a little bit of traffic so we can get into the charger here. Doesn't look like there's any Teslas charging currently. It's wide open, which is good. So, oh, no, I'm mistaken. There's one down there, and there's a Rivian plugged in all the way at the end. We're gonna pull in down here where there's a little bit of shade. And there's a Rivian R1S plugged in and charging. So they've got their NACS to CCS adapter, so good for them. I'll pull up a little bit. And let me see if I'm far enough back that the cable will reach. Should be good. And let's see if we can get plugged in. Just that easy. And there we go, we're charging. So let's check out our speeds. In 1 minute is all it needs to continue the trip, but we'll charge a little bit longer than that. You can see it's jumping up. Just heard the fans get going, and we're up to 171 kilowatts. So once again, great job, Tesla. So I've been sitting here about 2 minutes, and it's already up to 28%. You know, I could go now and get to the hotel with 9%. The Golden Doodle needed to take a bio break, so my daughter's out walking her, and when she gets back, we'll unplug and go. We'll be just fine. We're only going 34 miles, not a big deal. We have plenty of juice to do it. We could have skipped this stop. I could have charged for a few more minutes at the last one, but honestly, we needed a break, so this was a perfect stop. It'll be a quick one, and there's some quick stats. 111 miles on that last leg, 286 watt hours per mile, and all in all, it's been a long day. You can probably hear by my voice, I'm wearing out. 5:41 p.m., and we can get to the hotel here. The projection down below, you'll see, is 6:13 p.m., so we'll be there pretty quickly. I will be hitting the road here in just a few minutes. They're coming back to the car here now, and we will take off in a minute. Sorry about the dirty windshield. There's been no cleaners, I don't think, at any of these stops. There probably was at Franklin's, but I wasn't paying attention to that. I should have cleaned the windshield. Anyway, 23 minutes out, 26 miles to go. Making good time. I was at the last charger. We were there maybe 4 minutes. I don't even think 5 minutes. Just threw on enough juice to get to the hotel with about 20%. It shows we'll arrive with 22% now. And actually just waited for a bio break and a little bit of water for the Golden Doodle. She is ready to get out of the car. Super frustrated. It's been a long day. That's about as long as you can possibly go in a day. And it is time to get there. So we're all looking forward to getting out of the car in less than 30 minutes. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Hope the remaining part of the drive is uneventful, and we'll be there in just a few minutes. So I'll try to give you an update here as we wrap up the day. But you can see overall trip stats, 1,042 miles, And as you know, over 650 miles so far today. It'll end up around 675 miles for the day. Big road tripping day in an EV for sure. Okay, so just about to enter the great state of Texas. The next several exits are all Texarkana exits. Some on the Arkansas side and some on the Texas side. And I think we're about a mile from the state line, so be very, very happy to see that. It is 95 degrees out. We have driven 1,063 miles, 29 miles on this last drive, 323 watt hours per mile. So gonna get to the hotel, it looks like, with around 23% on the battery, and happy to be entering the state of Texas and to essentially be back home. So there's exit 1 of Arkansas, and then here's the first exit in Texas. There's Texas travel information ahead. And we are only 2 miles from our exit. Rough roads even in this area. You know, a lot of times when you cross the state line, you can see big differences in the roadway. Not in this area. They're pretty rough throughout. But we'll go ahead and get by 1 or 2 of these trucks and then jump in the right-hand lane and be prepared to exit off of exit 220B for Richmond Road. Texas sign. It just shot by us there as I was passing that truck. That was welcome to Texas with the Lone Star flag. So happy to see that. Always gives me a smile. I'll go ahead and get by this Schneider truck or trailer and slide on by. 0.6 miles. So 1.9 miles will be to the hotel, and that will end our trip for today. If I'm able to post something with the car plugged in at the hotel or share anything, I will. But there's the wrap-up stats for the day, and you will see me again, worst case scenario, first thing tomorrow morning as we take off and head back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Should be just under 5 total hours with charging and everything, probably 4.5, and we will be back home, so looking forward to that for sure. Okay, so just getting back from going and grabbing dinner. It's 8 o'clock, so we sat over there at the restaurant and ate. Pulling back in here to the Hampton Inn, and they have a fantastic setup here. Tesla, EV people, these have the Magic Dock accessory. They have the J1772 adapter on them. You can pull it out and use it with the charger. Look at this wonderful setup. They have a great installation. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Tesla destination chargers, free to use for customers. Great job, Hampton Inn. Great job, Tesla. This is a wonderful installation. This is EV charging done right. I highly recommend you stay here. And this is the Hampton Inn on Calhoun Drive in Texarkana, Texas. So check it out, guys, and use it. It's a great place. Okay, so here we are getting ready to leave the Hampton Inn. It has the wonderful 6 destination chargers. There's the refreshed UI, the new user interface. Software update was applied last night. I know that we can swipe there. I can swipe like that to navigate. And I'm going to make one stop at the Buc-ee's in Royce City. So here's something interesting at the bottom. It shows the progress bar for the trip. So first stop in 142 miles, 2 hours, and we'll arrive there with about 23%. So it looks great. It looks like we do have a software update. It's a navigation, a games update. I'll let that download while we drive, and off we are. So good news starting out this morning, sitting at 95%. It is 78 degrees out. You'll see the whole user interface is totally different. The speed up here is much bigger. Of course, we have full screen visualizations with a map update up in the top right corner. You can see the map. Really works well. Starting out this morning, of course, it's a lot cooler, and the car just started out, so that'll improve, but we're at 324 watt hours per mile, 1,081 miles in this Texas trip. Next stop is Buc-ee's supercharger in Royce City. It's 134 miles away, an hour and 52 minutes, so hopefully that's uneventful, but I like the user interface. It looks great. Car's doing a great job this morning. It updated overnight at the hotel, and of course we got a free tank of fuel at the hotel as well, so that's all good, and cruising down the road now. So here's a bit of a trip update. We are riding along, headed to the supercharger at Royce City. It is at a Buc-ee's, so let's take a look at that charger and just see. Let's see, here it is. Now we're passing one, which is Sulphur Springs, and then Royce City is 8 stall 250 kilowatt. I don't think I've actually charged at this Buc-ee's in Royce City. Can't recall. I'll know when I get there, but I know I've avoided it a lot just because it's so busy. But yeah, we're gonna plug in. Don't really need much juice at all. Let's see what trip planning is saying. It's saying 10 minutes. We get there, it's probably gonna say like 3 minutes. But we'll plug in for a little bit, walk the Golden Doodle, run inside a Buc-ee's for a minute, and then take off. So should hit home, I'm thinking 10:30, 10:45, depending on traffic up around Dallas. But it's a beautiful day. It's warming up. It's 82 degrees already, 8:07 a.m. And loving the new user interface. I think it's pretty clever. I like the energy bar over here. You'll notice the black bar is sliding up and down as it's using more power. And then it goes green as it regens. It'll drop down and go green down here. So that's a little different. I like the speedometer, which is much bigger. I think they've done a great job with this refreshed user interface. Really nice. So I will keep you updated efficiency-wise. Not doing terrible this morning. 278 watt hours per mile, 77 miles in, just under an hour, so we're making decent time. And this car now has 21,545 miles and 234 watt hours per mile overall. Just over 5 megawatt hours of energy consumed in this vehicle over the last 21,000 miles. Been a great car. Enjoying driving it, and looking forward to getting home after being on a very, very long road trip. Okay, so here's another trip update. It is up to 85 degrees out. It's 8:35 a.m. I'm at 44% battery. Driven 112 miles and 273 watt hours per mile, so not super efficient. But you know what? I'm only 27 minutes out from the supercharger in Royce City. So I will show you that as we hit that charger and I get plugged in, get a little bit of juice, and then head down the road. So far, all is good this morning. Not a ton of traffic. It has been pretty uneventful, which is a good thing. And we're just riding along. Love this part of the country, by the way. Love Texas, although these roads are a bit rough, if you can see and hear. They could do a better job. These roads do need a refreshing. Look at this. Just kind of rough. Okay, so here we go. We're getting off the exit for Buc-ee's. 142 miles on this drive. Used about 70% of the battery. It just started preconditioning for fast charging as we exited, which means it didn't need much adjustment. So we are headed to this Buc-ee's. We're gonna go up here and turn left. I want to make sure we're in the correct lane. We are. So we're going to go left, go through one light, go down and turn right to get into Buc-ee's. And may not be too busy. It is Saturday morning at 9 a.m. though, and a lot of traffic flowing through this area, so I'm sure it'd be worse in a couple hours, but I imagine it is busy. Looks like there are 8 stalls, 5 available upon arrival, 2 cars en route. So let's kind of see what happens here. Go ahead and follow the navigation recommendation and go around the side here. I think it will be quicker than trying to go through Buc-ee's parking lot. There's a Tesla probably headed in there to charge as well. But we're going to turn right here on this Shaw Street and go around to this other side where it appears, and I can see the Tesla superchargers over there on the right. So this was a smart move. And I see one Tesla plugged in. I think it's that new silver color, or they've got a pretty cool wrap on their car. Yep, it looks like there's a couple plugged in. We're going to go ahead and get back into this spot here. There's a Cybertruck sitting here charging. And we're backing into stall 1A. And let's see what kind of speeds we get. There's some of the new visualizations. Right over there's a Cybertruck. And let's go ahead and get plugged in here. Okay, started charging right away. And as I mentioned, right over there's the Cybertruck charging. So let's take a quick look at our speeds. And that's all brand new. Very, very cool. Right up to 171 kilowatts, 4 minutes here, and then we can take off. So I'm going to take a quick bio break and we'll get out of here. And here's the Tesla supercharger in Royce City. You see a Cybertruck. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Teslas charging on 8 stalls. Anyway. I will jump back in the car and take off here in just a minute. So here's an update. Just been sitting here a few minutes, used the facilities, maybe 10 minutes or less, already up to 62%. Gonna arrive home with 34%, which is plenty. And I did go over and take a look at the Cybertruck. The guy is just getting bombarded with people checking out his truck. It's kind of wild. There is a new Model X, and of course we're in the Model 3. I don't know. I've got to decide if I want to take my delivery or not of the Cybertruck, and kind of concerned about how many people will interrupt your trip wanting to look at it and talk about it. So anyway, nice looking vehicle. I'll consider it, and going to be heading out here in just a minute. My daughter went to take a bio break, so when she gets back to the vehicle, we will take off. Quick side note, I was just noticing I'm still charging at 98 kilowatts at 65%. I think they might have improved the charging curve a little bit here on this rear-wheel drive LFP. That's pretty darn good, all the way up at 65%. So you know, pulling almost 100 kilowatts. Been here, I think, 12 minutes roughly, and already pulled in 21 kilowatt hours of energy. Kind of good. Let's take a look. We're at $7.48, 34 cents a kilowatt hour here at this particular stop. But I really like the new UI. The new graphical interface is great. They've done a really nice job with this. So good job, Tesla. Keep it coming. Okay, so here's a quick trip update. 15 miles from getting on the President George Bush Turnpike, and should hit home around 10:20 a.m. An hour and 3 minutes out, 61 miles, and should arrive around 40%. Plenty of juice. Charged up to around 70% and took off as soon as we were ready. And you'll see the Texas trip so far, 1,218 miles, 263 watt-hours per mile, and we now have 21,614 miles on this car. So rocking and rolling, all is well. 86 degrees. It is warming up as we head back into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's 9:17 a.m. Looking forward to being home in an hour. Okay, as we head into Dallas, we're going to cross over this big bridge, big body of water, Lake Ray Hubbard, I believe. And you'll see some cranes. It looks like they're expanding this bridge. It's going to be interesting. But, yeah, on track. Efficiency is not great coming off the supercharger, 330 watt-hours per mile, but got about 3.7 miles getting on the President George Bush Turnpike. So making good progress, just crossing over this bridge. They need to do some work to it, so it'll be good that they're expanding it. This bridge has gotten very rough over the years, and it's super, super busy. I mean, it's a Saturday morning at 9:30, and you'll see just an intense amount of traffic as I navigate my way across the bridge here. Over there's the lake. Of course, it's on both sides of us, but anyway, it has been a good road trip. I want to give you some thoughts. You know, we're 52 minutes, 49 miles out from home. It's not hard to road trip in a Tesla. It does take a little more time than a gas car, but it's way less expensive, as you've seen. I would not recommend at this point road tripping in any other EV unless you really know what you're doing. The software's not there, the routing, the chargers. Some EVs right now can charge at the version 3 superchargers, Ford and Rivian, if you have the adapters. This is June of 2024. More vehicles will have access to that soon, and some Tesla superchargers have Magic Dock, but this car can charge at version 3s, version 2s. Any supercharger works. So Tesla by far right now is the easiest. I think over the next few years that'll change, and you'll be able to drive about any EV you want to drive easily across the country. I've done it. I know how to do it, and I have all of the apps and all of the connectivity. It requires some logistical thinking to map out your route plan and to organize and coordinate where you're going and for how long. And with a Tesla, it's kind of a no-brainer. I manually plan and calculate most of my stops, and I can usually make it more efficient than what the car can and gain time and save time on a road trip. But for most people, just plug in where you want to go in the Tesla. It'll tell you if you need to charge it for how long, and it works just fine, and it's very inexpensive to own and maintain. Literally next to no maintenance, no oil changes, no transmission. There's some cabin air filters after a couple of years you may want to get replaced. There are, of course, tires like any vehicle, wiper blades and washer fluid. That's really about it, and just run them. I guess that's it for now. I will try to give you another update if possible before I reach home, and give you kind of a final thoughts here on this long cross-country road trip from Texas to Virginia, and now from Virginia back to Texas, passing through North Carolina and Tennessee. It's been an adventure. Okay, this is probably my next to last update on this trip. 1,267 miles. 12 miles to go, so it'll be 1,279 total miles at 263 watt-hours per mile. Roughly 4 miles to kilowatt hour, or per kilowatt hour. Not phenomenal, but also not the worst. We were running at highway speeds. We had extreme high temperatures. You know, it's already 90 degrees today. It's 10 a.m., so it'll see 100 plus degrees here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But I am happy to be home after, when I reset this, it had 2,000 miles on it. So this is about a 3,300 mile road trip over the last week or so. Tons of miles, and I've really come to like this Model 3 LFP. Other than, you know, getting in and out of it, it's just a low height vehicle, and I'm tall and I'm older. That's just not what I want to do. I'd rather have a Model Y that sits a little higher. This car handles great, it drives great, really good vehicle, and it's been a good road trip overall. You'll see on this latest leg 52, or actually just flipped 53 miles at 263 watt-hours per mile. So all in all, we're doing well. Get off this exit here in 4 miles. I've got 11 miles to go, about 18 minutes, and should hit the house at 10:17. So I'll try to give you one more update right as I'm near the house, and that'll close out this road trip adventure for early June 2024. Now, June's not over yet, so there may be more. We will see. Okay, so here's my final thoughts on this road trip, closing it up. 90 degrees outside, 10:03 a.m. Gonna hit my house around 10:18. 6.4 miles. Of course, I'm stuck in traffic in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Headed through the Louisville area now towards Flower Mound. And I've driven about 200 miles this morning once I reached the house. And roughly 3 hours and 20 minutes. And that included a quick charging stop and a bio break at Buc-ee's. We weren't there very long. The car was ready well before we are getting here to the house with 38%, it appears to be. This has been a good trip overall. As I mentioned a minute ago, I like the car. It does a good job. I would highly recommend one to the right person. Can't go wrong. Fantastic technology. And full self-driving is really a game changer. It makes driving the car much, much easier. So it's been a good trip. Thanks for following along, and watch for future road tripping videos. If you've watched us all the way to the end, shoot me a comment. I appreciate you watching, and have a great day.